Okay, so make sure you get this written down in your box, all right? Then write your statements in your reasons column, all right? And then it's going to be 5 steps, okay? You should automatically know what 3 of those boxes are going to be. So fill those out where you should automatically know. All right, so number it, write down what you should automatically know. What?
How should we know all of this instantly?
You should automatically know 3 of them. 3 of these 10.
How should I?
What do we always put down for the first statement reason? What? Mm-hmm. And then where do we remember what we put for the last statement? There's 3. Okay, do we all have this written down? All right, let's look at it together. Okay, so who thinks they know? Raise your hand if you have what's going to be in that first statement box. Okay, what do you put, Austin? Yeah, angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Perfect. Write down exactly what we were given. All right, and then what's my reason? What do you think, Mia? Given. Perfect. So that's what you should automatically have written already down. Okay? Who wants to attempt the next step? Yeah, what do you think, James? Okay, and how'd you get that? How'd you know to do that? Yeah. It said angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary. All right, we have a word right here. We got to explain what that means. So what James said is angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180. All right, and then Lucy, what do you think that reason is going to be? Not substitution. What of supplementary? Definition of supplementary angles. Perfect. There you go. Okay? Perfect. All right, we got that. Now, in order to get our next step, okay, we have that 1 is congruent to 3, okay, in our given. All right, but down here, all right, we have angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180, okay? So in order for us to be able to eventually substitute, all right, we have to make angle 1 equal to angle 3, okay? So we're going to put that as our next statement. So that way they are both equal because one cannot be congruent and the other one equal. So we're just going to say angle 1 equals angle 3, okay? And then this is just going to be definition of congruent angles, okay? So if they're equal, all right, then they're congruent, all right? If they're congruent, then they're equal, okay? So since we know that these are equal, it'll be able to set us up for our next step. All right, so we can put an equal into an equal equation. All right. Who thinks they might know what our next step is going to be? Anyone want to attempt something? Okay, we have an equation on the second statement, and we have that angle 1 equals angle 3. All right, eventually we have to get that. We got to get 3 and 2 are supplementary, so we got to say something with those two. So what we're going to do, right, our next statement should say angle 3 plus angle 2 equals 180. How do we get that? What would our reason be for that? What did we just do? We just substituted, okay? Instead of angle 1 here, we put angle 3 because those two equal each other. Okay, so that's just substitution property. Perfect. Okay, so that's that fourth statement. All right, and then who can tell me what our fifth statement is? I know all of you should know this one. What's our last statement, Lucy? Not the given, but the proof. So we're going to write down angle 3 and angle 2 are supplementary. Okay? And we need one final reason. All right? This reason is also going to be definition of supplementary angles. All right? And I'll explain that in a second, but go ahead and get that written down. Okay? So, since we had that the two added up to equal 180, all right, that tells us now we can finally say that they are supplementary, and we're just describing that definition again. But we're kind of just doing the opposite of up here. So that's why it's also a definition of supplementary angles. Okay? So it's just going from the equal 180 to saying and naming that they are supplementary. Okay? Do we have questions about that one? All right. Write this one down. That's your given and your proof. Write that down. All right. And then it is 6 statements, 6 reasons. I want you to try it on your own. Okay. Use previous proofs to help you. So write that given, write that proof. All right. In that big box, write your statements, write your reasons. Put those 2 words down. Okay. And then it is 6 statements, 6 reasons. Okay. Use previous proofs to help you. Okay. This is one you can actually figure out how to do all the steps. All right, you can figure this out. All right, this is You skipped one step. Yeah, this. Yeah. Okay, notice some of you are figuring out which one it's similar to. Okay, we almost did this exact same one as yesterday. All right, so I'll give you like 1 more minute to finish up, okay? And then we'll look at this together. All right, Layla, can you tell me what our first statement is going to be? Perfect. Okay, and what's my reason for that, Audrey? Given. Okay, perfect. That's what you should add down for the first statement, first reason. Okay. Lucy, what do you think we're going to put for our next one? Perfect. We're just going to explain what complementary means. Okay? So angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 90 degrees. Angle 2 plus angle 3 equals 90 degrees. Okay? And then what do you put for your reason, Vanessa? Definition of complementary angles. Perfect. Okay? We explained what those angles mean. We explained what complementary means. Yep. Okay, 1 second, Quinn. People are going to finish writing this down. Okay, Quinn, what do you think our next statement is? Perfect. Okay? Both sets of angles equal 90, so we can equal them to each other. Okay? And that's what we're going to do in that next statement. And then who thinks they can tell me what the reason is for that one? What did we just do right there? We substitute. So that's going to be substitution. Okay? Perfect. All right, we're just substituting. If those both equal to 90, then they will equal each other. Perfect. Okay? We do eventually have to get 1 and 3, okay, on its own in order to prove, okay? So who thinks they know our next step? Yeah, what'd you put? Yeah, angle 2 equals angle 2, and what'd you put for your reason for that, Vanessa? Reflexive property, perfect, okay? We got to explain on both sides, those two angles equal each other, okay? And then that's going to help us on our next step, because what should our next step say, James? Angle 1 equals angle 3, because what did you just do? Well, what's our reason? Yeah, we subtracted. We subtracted the measure of angle 2's out. Okay, so since we subtracted these two angles out, it leaves us with angle 1 equals angle 3. Perfect. Okay. Now, before we should already automatically know the last statement, but if we look at this, okay, we have to prove that angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Well, we have angle 1 equals angle 3. Okay? So if they equal, we can say that they're congruent. So your last statement should say angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. And who thinks they know what our last statement is? It's the definition of congruent angles. If they equal each other, then we can say they are congruent to each other. Perfect. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Again, with this one, it was almost the same exact one. Let me go back. It was almost the same exact one as this one yesterday. The only difference is this says supplementary. Today it said complementary. Okay? So you see when I was talking about how they're all very similar, just sometimes the words or angle numbers change. All right, so we just got to pay attention to that. Okay, now on this next one, okay, just before you start writing anything, okay, this will be your last one we go over today. All right, write down, see how this is given? This is our given. All right, this means 4 times the measure of angle 2. These are all your statements. All right, we need to find the reasons. Okay, so go ahead, write that down. That's your given. All right, we're going to solve for the measure of angle 2, which it already does. Okay, so this one doesn't have a proof because we're solving for an angle value. Okay, so get all those statements written down, get that given written down, and then see if you can figure out what those reasons are. I want you to try that on your own. All right, this will be our last one today. Okay, so please try on this last one. All right, and then if you got room in that big box on top, I would draw that image to help you out too. The givens underlined, and then draw that image in the big box. And then those are all your statements. We're just finding the reasons. All right, you should know that first reason automatically. All right, that second reason, maybe use a proof we did yesterday to help you out. Try to figure out that second reason. There you go. Good. Okay, so what does it do here? No, because it tells us. It doesn't say anything about complementary because it told us this angle equals 90. Okay, but what is it doing here? because this becomes 4 times the measure of angle 2, and this becomes 90. I'll come back to you. Which one are you pointing at?
Yeah.
But make sure you put addition angle. Like put the word, like put angle in between those two. My bad, Austin. Figure it out.
Is that one?
And then you can figure out those last two. Just it's solving. Not quite on this one. Okay, but these two are good. So this one's not quite right. But your first two were good. First three, I guess. What is it doing from here to here? When it's adding on the same side, what is it? You're there. Yeah. Sorry? We'll set this. This is stating that these two angles added together equal this whole angle, okay? Do you remember doing this yesterday at all? Find one. See if you can find something in these first two that's describing two angles adding up together. They equal the whole angle itself. We're just going to finish one. We got 2 minutes. All right, let's look at this. What's my first reason going to be? Given. Perfect. Okay. Given's going to be my first reason. It's always my first reason. All right, next one. It just states that angle 1 plus angle 2 equals the whole angle of ABC. How do we know that? It's the angle addition postulate. Okay, we did that yesterday. It's just stating a fact. It's just stating those two angles are inside of the whole ABC angle. Okay, so them added together equal the whole angle. Now, what does it do for our next step? Now we have 4 times the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 2 equal 90. What does it do right there? Yeah. Yeah, it just substitutes, okay? It just substituted our 90 degrees for ABC and our 4 times the measure of angle 2 for angle 1. All right? Now we go from 4 times the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 2 to 5 times the measure of angle 2. What does it do there? What did it do for that next step? It does add them, but they're on the same side. So what's our reason? Simplify. We're simplifying. We're just adding those angles together. So now we have 5 times the measure of angle 2 equals 90. What does it do right here? It divides. So 90 divided by 5 gets our measure of angle 2 equal 18 degrees. So division property is that last reason. Okay? All right, that's it for today. All right, bell's going to ring any moment.